A concerning rise in anti-Asian racism during the pandemic has prompted a group of educators at the TDSB to create a resource to help fight discrimination in our schools. What can we all learn from it? For more, junior grade teacher Sangeeta McAuley joins me now. Good morning to you, Sangeeta.
Good morning, Melanie. Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well. And as we've been celebrating here and talking about quite a bit in February, this is Black History Month, but it is also Chinese Heritage Month. So Toronto, a very multicultural city where we need to learn about acceptance. And this is sort of the launching point for all of you. Let's talk about this resource and the anti-Asian resource when it comes to combating racism.
Awesome. Thank you. We obviously know that there has been, historical discrimination against Asian communities. The resource is really built on the idea of how we examine that history, how as educators we can reflect on our practices in the classroom and how we're moving students forward with any misconceptions they may have.
Now, Sangeeta, sadly, over the last year, we have seen a lot of anti-Asian racism, and I've been part of some of it as well. So why is it such a big issue right now? And why do you think it's important that students, and you teach grade 6, why students, and here are some examples of what we've seen in the news recently, really need to open their eyes with what's going on around them?
Yes, absolutely. Well, racism isn't in isolation, Melanie, and I think part of our resource really looks at how different forms of oppression are interconnected. So there's a section in our resource that looks at it's centering indigeneity and Black lives, and the fact that as communities we need to work together in solidarity towards abolishing white supremacy and colonialism.
Why is it important to have these conversations so young? Some people might say, at such a young age, do they really need to dig deep into these conversations? You say, yes, probably you do. You need to have those conversations now.
Absolutely. So when I taught primary grades, for example, we still hear those comments. For example, COVID is a Chinese disease. Or comments regarding someone's racial appearance, for example. So those are still happening in primary grades. The longer that we wait, the more challenging it is for students to really consolidate concepts of racism and anti-oppression.
Okay, so very important, Sangeeta, for children, educators, and parents to have those resources available to them to have as a starting point. So there is an event, or correct me if I'm wrong, yes, an event about this resource is happening tonight. So can you share a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely. We're having a launch, Melanie, of 500 people. The event is closed at this point. We will be having some guest speakers, Jen-Ling Chang from the Alliance Association, and Vidya Shah from York University, and Amy Go from the Chinese Canadian National Council for Social Justice.
Okay, and website, if anyone would like to learn more.
Yes, so the resource will actually be available on the Toronto District School Board website, as well as the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario site.
Okay, Sangeeta McAuley, appreciate your time, and thank you for the work that you're doing, very important work that you're doing. Appreciate it.
For the opportunity, Melanie.
Thank you. All right, 6:22 is your time right now. Coming up next, we're going to give you the latest with COVID-19, specifically Facebook cracking down on COVID misinformation. Why the social media company is taking a hard look and a hard line with a new policy. We're going to tell you about that after the break.